person who's under an arrest warrant from the ICC can't travel to any country that's a member of the ICC without getting arrested. I don't see that affecting Mohammed Baif very much.
Sure.
But it definitely affects Netanyahu. It definitely affects Gallant. And I know I've been saying it for a while, but I believed it when I said it, and I believe it now. Netanyahu's days are numbered. I said before that I thought that he would be gone by autumn. We're technically still in autumn, so it may still happen, inshallah. So he can't travel. Europe has said now, Borrell has said that the countries of the EU have to respect the ICC, respect the judgment of the ICC, and in other words, carry out your responsibilities as a member of the ICC. Meaning, if Netanyahu sets foot in your country, you have to arrest him. America is not part of the ICC, so Netanyahu can still go to America.
Still has a shot at Florida every time.
Yeah. But he's done. He's cooked. His days are numbered. And I don't know if he's going to survive. Someone said in the chat whether or not he's going to survive the Trump administration. I don't think he's going to see the Trump administration. In my opinion, I don't think he's going to see the Trump administration. I think he's not going to survive the Biden administration, which technically isn't over, even though to what extent it's ever been a Biden administration, I don't know. The very fact that the case could be made at the ICJ shows the changing power dynamics in the world. And the very fact that an arrest warrant could be issued against Netanyahu is an indication that the power structure is sick of Netanyahu. And they are tired of Zionism and they want this to be over. See, there's some positive signs, like Joseph Borrell saying we have to stand with the ICC. Because you have to understand, this is what I've also talked about, that it's very, very important to Westerners to look good and to look like they are good. It's very, very important to them. We can't conceive of how important it is because we only understand how important it is to be good. As Muslims, we understand the importance of actually being good. So we can't really conceive. We want to be good no matter how we look.
Yes.
We don't even mind if being good makes us look bad, we don't mind. But for them, they want to make sure that they look good. And part of that means, well, we built these institutions like the United Nations, like the ICC, like the World Court, like the EU. We built these things, and they're supposed to be institutions that enshrine our wonderful, beautiful, virtuous Western civilizational values, so-called. So we can't abandon that, and we can't allow those things to be openly hypocritical. South Africa really put them on the spot, and they were able to do that because BRICS exists. They put the Western world on the spot by bringing this case to the ICJ, not the ICC, to the ICJ. Because the only way that they could maintain not appearing blatantly hypocritical was by just never charging their allies, never bringing a case against their allies who are, guilty of war crimes, guilty of crimes against humanity, and so forth. Because we don't want to charge them. I mean, we don't want to convict them. So let's just not charge them. Because if we charge them, we're going to end up having to convict them because the evidence is insurmountable, right? So South Africa put them on the spot because they got the case to the ICJ, and now it's like, well, what are we supposed to do now? We can't let our institutions lose all credibility. They believe in those institutions for their for the value of providing the image of goodness and virtue and values.
The filters.
Yeah, the image.
Yeah.
So we can't let those institutions be undermined because then our whole image is undermined. Because they still believe somehow that people believe in their image. I don't know who's left that believes in their image. But so this is what I was talking about, like in terms of whether or not we could get France and the UK on board with Article 6, or at least to get them to not veto it. at the Security Council. And that's because they want to look good. They want to look like they're good. And they want to be able, and if that requires them to throw their friend under the bus so that they can not be equally tarnished, because you're all in trouble now. Let's be honest. With the ICC arrest warrant against Netanyahu, you're all in trouble. Because the same thing that he's accused of, the same thing that he's charged with, the same reason why they want to arrest him, all of you are accomplices. All of you are complicit in that. And that could be easily proven legally. So you need to cut a deal now to, what do you call it? Immunity. We need to be exonerated. We need immunity from prosecution if we agree to go along with charging and convicting and jailing and punishing Netanyahu and by extension the United States. We need, look, if you're not going to, like if Netanyahu is going down, then you also have to go down. And we need to disassociate from you. Because that's the first thing that they do. No matter who it is, on an individual basis, a Westerner will never stand by someone who gets in trouble. They will never stand by someone who gets in trouble. Even if they were the best of friends, and even if just yesterday they were talking about how wonderful they were, how this is the great humanitarian, as soon as they get in trouble, oh, he was, I have nothing, I don't even know him actually. Just in passing. I saw him on the street one time. I never really knew his name. You know?
Convenient.
Like they say, you know, I'm sure it's true with those people who say, you know, when they talk to they talk to him after they arrest some guy, like I don't know, serial killer or something. They arrest him, and the neighbors all say, well, he was quiet and kept to himself. No, I bet he didn't. He probably came over to your house. I'm sure you guys knew each other. You probably hung out together. You probably actually were friends. But now it's like, I don't know. Never. He was just strange. He never really talked to anybody.
Right.
You know, this is how they are. This is their character. So this is why also, like I have said, and many people criticize me for saying, because they don't know better by now. You have to wait and see with Trump. Trump is a mascot of a faction of power. If you know what that faction of power wants to do, don't think for a minute that Trump is going to oppose that. And whatever rhetoric he's going to use will be actually for the purpose of achieving that. Like, for example, I'll give you an example. Trump said that they were going to be tough on Iran, meaning sanctions, that they were going to sanction Iran even more. Okay? The reality is that is going to do nothing but help BRICS. That is going to add to the impetus for the disconnecting and the delinking of the global South countries and other countries in the world, all of the BRICS countries, from the American economy and from the American payment transfer system, SWIFT system, and so on. Because they have now what they launched what was it, last month in October, when they had the meeting in Kazan, the BRICS meeting. They launched this payment system, which is basically nullify sanctions.
Right. Because
So it doesn't matter. You can. All that does is isolate America more and strengthen the building of economic ties and coordination and collaboration between the BRICS countries and the global South countries. All of that is doing is actually building the foundation and the groundwork for the move of the global economy out of the previous system.
Yeah.
It's all of that is part of the transition. It has nothing to do with being tough on Iran.
Yeah, but it helps.
But that's the rhetorical reason.